G'day fellas and welcome to a video where we talk about Red Bull Wololo. The news has just dropped and of course, as is obligatory, whenever you talk about Red Bull Wololo, you gotta crack a Red Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here, El Renato. We know that it's happening, but the question on everybody's mind is Age of Empires 4 going to be there? The answer is yes. However, it's not all good news. So calm down, don't get too excited just yet. Maybe put your Red Bull off to the side a little bit. Let's just pause right here. Have a look at that. You got Tata right here, the king. Who's this little guy with his cute little cat? Hey, Marine Lord, how you doing there, buddy? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into it. The information that we need to know, let's get into it. So where is it? It's happening in Spain this year, just outside Cordoba, in a little region called, well, I'm not going to pronounce it, but I am going to show you. Where is it? Hold on. I can find this on a map. There's Seville. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, that's what it looks like. That's what the castle looks like. It's a big castle. It's a cool castle. Definitely one I could see myself singing from the same hymn sheet as everybody else at the top of the mountain. Anyway, let's get to it. What is Red Bull Wololo? What's happening? What do we know? So at the moment, we know that it's happening in October this year. We know that Age of Empires 1, 2, and 4 is going to be there. We also know that AOM is going to be there. I'm kind of excited about that. I want to see what that is going to be all about, because we don't even know about release dates or anything like that for AOM. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit more information about that. But a total of $240,000 of prize pool. Very exciting. Let's have a look at are there any other questions in here that are kind of relevant? Anyone can participate in Red Bull Wololo. How do I get tickets? I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go do any of that stuff. Let's talk about specifics though, because as I said, it's great news that Age of Empires 4 is here. A lot of people were coming into this announcement thinking, you know what, it's probably not going to be there. We haven't heard a thing. I hadn't heard a thing. None of the other players or casters had heard anything either. We thought it wasn't going to be happening. So what's actually happening? Let's dive in. I'm going to take you to my Discord. This is a dangerous place for me to be. This is the Discord server for the Red Bull Wololo. And in here, it's got the rules. So one of the things to note is that Age of Empires 4 returns to the hallowed stage of Red Bull Wololo. They guarantee that the legendary and fast-paced games as the tournament embraces the Empire Wars game mode for the first time. Competition will be fierce across 9 carefully selected maps, demanding players' focus and adaptability. So, immediately, there's a bit of a red flag, right? Empire Wars. This is a game mode that typically has been ignored in Age of Empires 4. Obviously, it's within the game. It's physically in the game, but people don't play it. It is not played at all. It is if you go have a look at AoE4 World, right, it's not being played at all. And I wish I could say that the bad news ends there, but the truth is it doesn't. If we take a look at AoE2, okay, and if we have a look at what their qualification says, you can see that invitees, it's got Tato, they've got to be announced, and then the qualifiers, they've got 4 more people to be announced, and then the last chance, 2 more people to be determined, or to be determined up here as well. So a total of 8 people are going for AoE2. If we go down to AoE4 though, it just says Marine Lord is invited and to be determined. So it's going to be just the grand final that is happening at the castle. You're not going to see anybody else. It's just going to be Marine Lord and Beastie, or Marine Lord and Lucifron, Marine Lord and Aussie Drongo. I'm not going to enter. I'm not this year. It's not happening. And another thing to note though is Marine Lord's going to be defending his title. He just gets straight in. They just give him the ticket. So he's already got 10k in the back pocket. He's a happy little camper. The cat's well fed. Got plenty of kitty litter back there. Marine Lord's absolutely fine. Now, can I just also comment on the fact that the only reaction to this post is just a no entry sign? Well done, Drad Loose. So that's obviously like a big component to it, the fact that it's Empire Wars. And people were kind of questioning, all right, is it just going to be for the grand final so that, you know, the Age of Empires 4 show match goes relatively quickly? And the tournament administrator actually came into the questions, well, this is what he said. He said that Empire Wars will also be used during the extensive qualification stage, so it's more than just a grand final. So I think if we have a look it's in feedback maybe. Yeah, I think it's in feedback. So you can see he's written it here. So we're going to be seeing a lot more Empire Wars. Now, when it comes to Empire Wars at the moment, it's kind of been... I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even know what's happening with the devs, right? I've had absolutely no... oh, excuse me. A little bit of a frog in my throat. I've had no contact with them regarding, like, what's going on at all. Like, ever since ever since Relic, was it Relic? I think Relic bought themselves out and went back again and owned themselves. I've just not heard a single thing. It's literally silence. So I've got no idea what's happening behind the scenes, but to think that Empire Wars is going to get some kind of balance change, you would hope that it's going to happen. You would expect that it's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So we know that the tournament's going to be entirely on Empire Wars. We also know that it's going to be online largely as well. So it means that EGC TV is going to be hosting that. Obviously, I'm going to be casting a lot of those weekends. I'm excited about Spain. I don't know whether I'm going to be there. I would hope. I will hope that I get to cast down on the ground. But I guess it leaves the question. There's a lot to talk about with this one. Obviously, I'm excited that Age of Empires 4 is being included because there was a part of me that thought it's not going to happen. Age of Empires 2 is definitely the more popular game. There's no real changing people's mind on that one. But the question is, how popular is Age of Empires 4? And they're just coming off, this crazy DLC that is the best-selling DLC or expansion in Age of Empires history. So you'd think maybe they'd be looking at it okay. But in the end, look, 50k, it's nowhere near what it was last time, which is disappointing. But at the end of the day, hey, at least it's happening. And then Empire Wars, I don't know. To me, it feels like I don't know who's making up or who's designing the tournaments behind the scene. But I'm not sure if they're really sort of putting two and two together and going, you know what? Like, people are going to like to see this. People want to see this. The Age of Empires 4 guys are going to love this. It's going to be an Empire Wars tournament. And it's just not something that really melds well with me. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure we can learn to love Empire Wars. But the truth is, we already have Age of Empires 4 perfection. The game Age of Empires 4 right now has never been better than what it currently is in its standard form. Obviously, it's pretty good in FFA form as well, but the standard form has never been better, never been more balanced, never been more refined. It is absolutely perfect. Not perfect. There's obviously a lot that we could do, but the point is that Empire Wars isn't going to really you're just going to take something great and sort of throw it aside. So I at the moment, I'm a little bit upset. I'm a bit disappointed with how it's going, and I think that obviously, man, I don't know how to say it, but it's good that it's being included, but at the same time, it's disappointing that it's only this much. But I kind of feel like a bit like a spoiled child that's like, yeah, we got chocolate, but it's like the stuff that isn't the name brand chocolate, right? Like it's not the nicest chocolate here. It leaves that kind of oily feeling in your mouth afterwards. But yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes it. If we take a look at the AoE4 subreddit, we can read through a couple of the comments and see what they're saying. There's already been another thread posted, so I posted up this one here. So we got Empire Wars with a laughing face, or laughing crying face. Empire Wars, how out of touch with the community are the organizers? And we've got some more. So yikes, honestly feels like they're trying to kill AoE4 with this tournament. It's great that Red Bull's doing it all, but the tournament format are literally dumbest thing ever, and that's on Microsoft. It's like they're putting someone who has absolutely no idea how the game works in charge. Best-selling expansion, then they give us this. Empire Wars? And what are these dumb maps? Oh, I didn't even look at the maps. What maps have we got? Dry Arabia, great. Frisian Marshes, Golden Heights. Okay, Gorge, Holy Island, Kawasan, Rocky River, Socotra, and Volcanic Island. They're not that dumb. I mean, we've seen... There's a lot of water in here. I'm going to be honest. I don't like all this water. Golden Heights, like water. Gorge is good. Dry Arabia is good. Frisian Marsh is kind of a bit weird, but still good. Holy Island, water. Kawasan, water, if I remember correctly. It's got all the berries in the middle. Rocky River, a little bit of water, not that much. Volcanic Island, water. Socotra, I don't know what that map looks like, but I'm sure it's probably got water. But I guess water's not bad to spice things up, but I don't know. I would have taken Hill and Dale here, man. Lipany, Hill and Dale, high view. I would have been happy with that. If I look at this, yeah, it sucks, but it's not. At least it's not mountain clearing. We literally had mountain clearing in here last time, I swear, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Anyway, what else have we got in here? Is this a normal thing for Red Bull Wololo that the winner of the last event gets an automatic pass to the finals? I don't understand why they don't just do a standard tournament format and have the grand finals between two qualified players. I kind of agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong. I reckon Marine Lord probably would have made it to the grand final. But at least then you can be like, yeah, but he qualified for it. Whereas here it's kind of like, yeah, he's just given he's given a free pass. And I think that this is the part that would kill me the most if I was a pro. Well, gladly I'm not anymore. It is that there is a single position that you're going to be fighting for, to get to Spain. That's it. This a single position. It's not like, okay, the top 16 last time and everybody gets to go. It's not even the top 8 or the top 4. It's not even 2 people that get to go that are going to be qualifying. It is only a single entrance that is going to get to the opportunity to qualify. That means right now, if Beastie, if Lucifron, if Vortex mess up a single set, that's it. There's no take-backsies. There's no nothing. That's it. It's final. There's no second chances with it. We know that Age of Empires 2 does have second chances through their event. So if we take a look, you can see that they've got the last chance qualifier. I don't know if that's last chance or second chance. I will just say I do actually like what they're doing with the Age of Empires 2 stuff. Just to quickly talk about that, because I think it's really cool. So essentially what is happening, at least as far as I'm aware, they're basically putting this in the actual game. So they're making like a separate kind of game mode. It's going to be Empire Wars. But basically there's like a ranked ladder feature in there that anyone can go and play, and then they're just taking the players out of that have got the highest rating. How sick that, like, that's pretty cool, right? Like, they just took the top 4 highest players. They're like, yep, you and you've just qualified automatically because you've played the game mode. Like, I think that's pretty cool, the way that they've what's the word, like, implemented it into the game, or yeah, like, brought it into the game. I'm a bit tired. What's the time? It's 3:20 a.m. in the morning at the moment. I can't think of words, but yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The other interesting thing to note, Age of Empires 1, is going to be played in Age of Empires 2. That is correct. So Age of Empires 1 is going to be played in the brand new Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition with the Return to Rome DLC. So I don't know how the Age of Empires 1 players are going to feel about that, but look, at the end of the day, it's going to be, I think, just the two fellas are going to be coming over to Spain for that one. So look, unfortunately for them, that's it'll be on in a game that they're not really that familiar with, but it'll still be a game that they're familiar with. And then for AOM, we don't know much about AOM. So they've said that they're not ready to share any more details about the game. We don't have a release date for AOM, but we do know the date that this event is happening. So if we go check the website right now, we can see that the event is happening on the 3rd, I think, to the 3rd to the 6th, maybe the 4th to the 6th, the 3rd to the 6th. So there's a good chance that AOM will probably release. I would suspect, like, they're probably going to go towards the end of the year, so after this date. But I wouldn't be surprised, like, if we look at our calendar right now, so it's October 3 and October 6. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm calling it right now. Normally on a Monday or a Tuesday, when Microsoft do it, that way they've got the whole week to patch. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the 7th or the 8th of October that Age of Mythology gets released. And I suspect that most or all of the games are going to be taking place on like a preview version of Age of Mythology, or a beta version of it. That's what I would suspect. Otherwise, the game might just release a little bit early. But obviously, they're going to have qualifiers for Age of Mythology as well, right? They're not just going to invite the Mister and Recon and Magic and be like, okay, you guys do a round robin, which would actually be insanely cool. But because all those guys are AOM pros. But yeah, so for AOM, we don't really have a lot of information. Anyway, that's my guess or my bet on when it's going to be released. But yeah, other than that, let's check in and see what else the community is saying. We'll close down these ones. Empire Wars Lamau. Empire Wars is legit effing awful. This is me, source from the Red Bull Wololo Discord. Sad. That prize pool, though, down to 16% of 2022. Is it really that much or that little? That's kind of wild. Okay, here we've got Adribird posting saying, a format that almost nobody likes. Empire Wars makes sense in AoE 2 because it has a slow start. In AoE 4, what we have to do is to make the late game more entertaining and without many stagnations. That's true, we do need to do that. Late game is kind of boring. And I've seen this talked about with a lot of pros where they're like, how do we fix the late game? Like, it's so boring. Everybody just stonewalls up and, you know, you push over here and then you stop the push over there. And it feels like there's no real way to break the stalemate. I think, was it Recon? I saw a photo that he sent where he was like an hour and a half through the game and he just decided to leave, and he's like, there wasn't going to be any winners in this game. Like, we were both losers in this game. Why was I playing this game? And then Adribert also says, the fact that the former champion already secures the second place, whoever he is, reduces the chances of the rest much more. Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right? Like, now your chances of making it to Spain, if you're not Marine Lord, have gone down from, you know, whatever they were, and they've just cut it in half. Maps that are not decided by AoE4 organizers, and a shameful prize pool. I mean, prize pool is one of those things, right? Like, and I understand this completely, because to me, and look, I might offend people and I might upset people when I say this, but it's the same argument with, like, why don't women's basketballers get paid the same as men's? And it's because the numbers are nowhere near as similar, right? And it's the same with Age of Empires 4 and Age of Empires 2. I mean, I would still argue they're in the same ballpark, right? But compared to like basketball as an example, but it's that whole idea, right? Where typically it's going to be numbers driven, right? More numbers for viewers mean more numbers for prize pool. That's typically how it goes. There might be something in there as well that, you know, Microsoft might be like, oh, you know what? We'll throw in a couple 100,000 because it's our new game and there's a new DLC coming out or something like that. Oh, by the way, did we look at prize pools as well? Because I think prize pools, oh yeah, we did. Yeah, so 150k for AoE2, 50k for Age of Empires 4, 40k for Age of Empires 1, and 10k for AOM. So not a huge amount for AOM there either. That's another thing to note. But I guess AOM's it's not even out yet, so we can't really get that crazy about it. What else have we got? A slap in the face from Watson. Kind of odd to give AoE4 only 1/3 of AoE2 prize pool. Yeah, that's interesting as well. Like, I mean, I don't want to get too much into the dynamics of it, and because I don't run LAN events, right? So I don't know exactly how much it costs, but I would have thought you could have put a couple more, like even just getting 2 more people out there. Like if they had 4 people at this event, like okay, sure, maybe give us like a nice little round robin, but you know, to me it kind of feels like Age of Empires 4. Like okay, do you guys remember last year? Well, not last year, but last Wololo, how we had Age of Empires 1 before the main events? It feels like that sort of thing. Like the Age of Empires 1 was the warm-up act, or like the show match before to get everybody like kind of like ready. You know, like the seats were warm, but now everyone went and got their drink and now they're back. Kind of feels like Age of Empires 4 might be doing that as well. So I'm kind of curious, especially with whatchamacallit, Empire Wars. The games aren't probably going to go for long. Like Empire War games go very, very quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if we, like, if it's a best of 5, man, like, the casters are going to be casting there. The players are going to be playing there for like half an hour maybe, depending on how many matches they do. So yeah, kind of curious. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it, realistically. So I'm curious what you think. I mean, you're probably going to think something similar to me, right? You're an Age of Empires 4 fan. You're going to be disappointed that this is what we've got. You're probably going to be feeling, you know, a little bit relieved that we're there, but it's interesting because even though we're there, it feels like we're not really. But look, I'm still going to be looking forward to it. I'm still going to be trying my best to put my best foot forward. I'm still going to be doing my best to cover the game as well. But I'm interested in what you think. How do you feel about Empire Wars as well? Could you see a world where Empire Wars changes or in your mind? And is there a possibility that you would be interested in playing FFA Empire Wars? Maybe. That could be an option. You know what? I think that's an option right now. Quick match. Empire Wars. Get rid of that. FFA. I'll see you guys later. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Randy Orton. Sorry, Aussie Drongo. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.